Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam to all the assembled devotees. So today we are starting module 5, starting with Nectar of Instruction, and then we will take Shri Ishopanishad. Let us start our session by prayers to Shri Radha Govinda and our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय षड स्वामी की जय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा. So we are starting with nectar of instruction. Hare Krishna Mataji. So we are starting with the prayers. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mayam Dadadi Swapadantikam. So when will Sri Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, give me shelter under the his lotus feet. So we are seeking the shelter under the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desires of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So with this prayer we are starting. So what is the desire of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to fulfill? Can anybody add?
That the name of the Lord should be sung in all villages and towns across the world, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mata. So Prithvi te ache yata nagradi grama sarvatra prachara hoye naranama. Yeah, this is the desire of, this is the prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what else? There is an instruction from teachings of Lord Chaitanya to all of us. And I've told this couple of times in our previous sessions. What is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Yare dekha tare ka Krishna
Krishna
Upadesh.
Upadesh. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 9.41. There is an important instruction for all of us, which says, Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusha Janmayara Janma Sarthakari Karo Paropakara. Yeah. Other day I shared one message in group. How can we please Srila Prabhupada? So one of the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, he asks, how can we please you? So what was the answer? How can one please Prabhupada?
By distributing books and preaching. Simply
Prabhupada
chanting
says,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna. So, chant Hare Krishna, preach Hare Krishna. This is the theme. This is pleases Srila Prabhupada. Distributing books is important. And what is there in the books? It is all about glorifying the Lord and chanting the holy names. So by doing this, what happens? Karo janma sartha karo paropakar. So by chanting Hare Krishna, we are perfecting our life and giving Hare Krishna to everybody. We are spreading this Krishna consciousness movement. Karing, we are doing paropakar. So with this, let us move further. So Srila Rupa Goswami, we have discussed this before also. That is born in 1489 in Brahmin Saraswat family, and he went on to become the chief secretary of Nawab Shah Hussain. And he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first in Ramkeli and then Prayag, also known as Rasacharya. And some of the known scriptures of Rupa Goswami, we discussed Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion previously. And today we are starting to discuss Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, which is translated by Srila Prabhupada, and the name is Nectar of Instruction. The scripture given by Rupa Goswami is Upadeshamrita. And there are other couple of scriptures, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava. So these are all some of the known prominent scriptures from Rupa Goswami. So the overview of this Nectar of Instruction, there are totally 11 verses. So the first 3 verses, this establishes the foundation for advancement in Bhakti. So through Nectar of Devotion, we understood what is the Bhakti, 64 qualities of Bhakti. So we are going to further strengthen, we're going to advance in these foundational principles of Bhakti. So the first 3 shloka talks about this. I wanted to cover 3 shlokas today, but I don't know. The time may not permit, so I may limit to 2 verses today and try to cover up in the next session. So what we need to understand is now Nectar of Instruction and Sri Ishopanishad. These are all very short modules. Hopefully, if Krishna permits, if I continue the 4 sessions, 4 weeks, within 1 week, 1 month itself, Nectar of Instructions will be complete, and maybe another 1 month or 2 for Sri Ishopanishad. So you have very short time to cover up if there is any backlogs. Okay, again, the attendance. There are very less session. If you miss 1 session, then 25%. For example, for Nectar of Instruction, there are 4 sessions. If you miss 1 session, then 25% of your attendance is gone. So please plan. Next couple of months is very important. Why important? As soon as this is complete, we will send all your nominations to Mayapur for the certifications. So during this period, you have to cover up your previous backlogs and stay up to date in this last module so that you will immediately get your certifications as soon as possible. If not, the next thing is, whenever the next batch is completing, then we have to add up your name in those batches and then send for the certification. That may delay the entire process by not sure when it is going to be now. The latest batch, Nectar of Devotion, is just started. So they may take at least 6 months to complete Nectar of Devotion module 4 and 5. So all those who want certificates in time, please follow the instructions judiciously so there is no delays in getting your certifications. Okay, so that is one of the important message I wanted to give. So this Nectar of Instruction is split into four segments. So verse 1 to 3 establishes the foundation for advancement in Bhakti. 4 to 6 verse will give a very important instruction on how to engage in sadhu sangha. How do we associate with the devotees. What are the Vaishnava etiquettes? It is very important. And then 7 and 8 talks about engaging the tongue and mind in chanting, always about remembering the Lord. And 9 to 11, the best devotees and the best places for the devotion. So we will touch on these aspects. Again, the same thing we can look at in different perspective. The text 1 to 7, it dwells more on Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. We did discuss this nectar of devotion. And Sloka 8 talks about Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. 9 to 11, it talks about Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So talking about preface. So this nectar of instruction, before Sloka 1, there is a short section by Prabhupada, preface. So what does it says? So through preface, Srila Prabhupada is introducing nectar of instruction, which is translated by Upadesha Amrita. And one of the key thing this talks about is control of mind and senses. So what are the ways we have discussed in the past to control the mind and senses?
Rishikena Rishikesha Sevan.
Yes. What is that, Mataji?
Rishikesha Sevanam.
Yes. So what is that sloka? Anybody can say other than Neha Mataji? What was that sloka?
Sarvopati Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rushikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruttama.
Yes. Good. So I think you have done your sloka recitations well. So this is from Nectar of Devotion, and this is one of the mandatory sloka for memorization, right? So sloka 1.1.12. So by engaging our senses in service of the Lord, we can purify our senses. Yukta Vairagya we discussed. So detaching from our sense activity is not the one, but attaching our senses in service of the Lord is the instruction given by our acharyas. That is on controlling the senses. Now, how do we control the mind?
By engaging in devotional service.
Yes. So what is the beginning of devotional service?
Chanting.
Chanting of holy names.
Yes, chanting of holy names. Manatrayate iti mantra.
Hearing Prabhuji. Hearing Prabhuji.
Yes, chanting. Chanting of holy names has both Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all those things comes in chanting of holy names. Manatrayate iti mantra. So when we put our endeavors in improving our quality of chanting, then gradually the mind will also start coming in our control. When we attentively chant, remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, mind keeps wandering, and we are bringing the mind back to the lotus feet of the Lord. Right? So this process is a process of meditation. This is the process to fix up our mind in one place. That place is lotus feet of the Lord. So here the key thing we are trying to understand, the main takeaway from the preface is self-control, mana as well as indriyas. And then next is following the footsteps of Goswamis. So step by step guidance is given by our Guru Acharyas. So learning this self-study, by studying this, hearing, attending these classes, implementing these lessons in our own life, and preaching this to many. So this is the process. Achar and Prachar. So when we follow this in our own life and then we preach, we fix up in Krishna consciousness. And this also talks about the purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, Yugala Preeti, the deep divine love between Radha and Krishna. We will understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to spread these glories of the holy name, as well as the deeper purpose was to understand the deep love of Srimati Radharani and the devotees to the Lord. And by following the instructions of this sloka, the first sloka itself is to become Goswami. So Goswami, one who control the senses, one who become the master of senses. Such person is known as Goswami. So we will discuss more in detail through further shlokas. The first sloka, a beautiful sloka. Vacho vega manasa krodha vegam, jivva vega udaropasta vegam, etan vega yo veshahita dhiraha, sarvam apimam prithvita shishyat. So a sober person who can tolerate the urges to speak, can tolerate his mind's demand, who can tolerate the actions of anger, the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So these are the 6 things one who can tolerate, who can control, who can master, can become the spiritual master and make disciples all over the world. This sloka also gives the qualities of a spiritual master. You need to see anybody whom we see, whom we aspire to take shelter, whom we want to make our spiritual master. What are the qualifications? These are the ways. Prabhupada has given through his books everything what is needed. Prabhupada has said to use your intelligence in choosing your spiritual master. And where does that intelligence come? That intelligence comes from Sadhu, Shastra and Guru. By reading scriptures, we know who the right Guru whom we need to take the shelter. So these are the qualities of spiritual master. So this sloka start with very important aspect, that is atonement, prayaschitta. And there is a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Sloka 9, which says that Maharaja Parikshit is asking this question to Suta Goswami. He says that one may know that the sinful activity is injurious. It is not good for us. But in spite of that knowledge, he forced to commit such sins again and again, and he performed the act of atonement. He does prayaschitta. But what is the use of such prayaschitta when he is doing it again and again? Some of the examples given here is a thief. He knows that stealing is not right and he is bound to be punished, but he does again and again. Similarly, all this while we know what is right, what is wrong for progress of bhakti, but we again end up doing what is not so favorable to progress in bhakti. So that our scripture says as example of elephant. What does elephant does? Can anybody elaborate on this?
After
After
taking a bath,
taking bath, it will again put mud on itself, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so what is that known as? Hati mata. Yeah, so
Yes.
elephant goes take bath and put mud on itself. That exactly many times when we reflect, we are also doing, right? And then there is an example given where some section they go weekend, they confess all that sinful activities they have done. And then again, Sunday they confess, they feel prayaschitta, and Monday onwards they again do the same thing, thinking that already I am purified. And the entire week I will do, and next Sunday I will go and confess. So this is not going to help. The problem with that is the tendency to do sinful activity is not uprooted. So the real Prayaschita is to have this knowledge that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And the purpose of the soul is to part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and purpose of the soul is to engage in devotional service of the Supreme Lord. And how do we do that? By following all these regulative principles. By regulating ourselves, we are avoiding all these sinful activities. So initially, with lot of difficulty, we are regulating, and eventually it becomes part of our life. Right? So what is the key takeaway from this? Chanting of holy name itself is a prayaschita. You don't have to do any other austerities. But important thing is, do not commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. This is one of the offense of holy names, right? So falling down is natural. It is very natural. We all fall down, but we need to learn from those mistakes and do not repeat that mistakes and continue what our acharyas have given us. Many people, they get frustrated thinking that I am not qualified to do this bhakti. And what do they do? Instead of continuing, they go away from Krishna consciousness. For many, it is very convenient to go away. Yeah, mind plays such a game that it is very easily they will take us away. The forces of Maya is such that very easily it will take us away. Many times, initially, I was also feeling like this, that when I see a lot of devotees around, I feel I am not qualified to be among them. The mind plays this game to take us away. So what we need to do is, we need to understand that we are not pure devotees. We are progressing to be a devotees. Yeah, when we understand this, it is a process, and we continue to hold on to this process. When you understand that you are not qualified, that itself is a sign that the process is working. When we reflect back in our life, before coming into Krishna consciousness, we used to do a lot of sinful activities. We used to engage in sense enjoying activities, and we were thinking that this is part of our life. Nothing wrong in this. But at least we know today that this is wrong. And gradually we are disengaging in these sinful activities. So what is the analogy we have learned? Do anybody remember? To disengage from these sinful activities, there is a good analogy Prabhupada gives. Anybody remembers? Disengaging from our sense enjoying propensities. What is the analogy?
The ink bottle, Prabhu?
Sorry, Mataji.
Ink bottle.
Ink bottle, can you elaborate, Mataji?
There is ink in the bottle, Prabhu, and when we keep pouring water, at one point there will be no ink, there will be only clear water.
Yeah. Similarly, the dirt, when we keep pouring water, the dirt keep coming out, and eventually this water become purified. The specific analogy what I am looking at, withdrawing the senses, is the analogy of a tortoise. Just like tortoise withdraw its limb, similarly, we also should gradually withdraw from these sense enjoying propensities. Yeah, that is the real atonement. The key lesson what we need to take away is, do not get demotivated, frustrated when you see you are not able to progress or not able to rise to the standards what our Guru Acharyas have given. But this is a process, and only process is to hold on to chanting of holy name, be in the shelter and association of devotees, engaging in devotional service in a very humble mood. This process is a purification, right? And there is also a good example given. When you start cleaning the room which is closed for many years, lot of dust come, and we see lot of dust, right? So we don't have to be worried about this dust and run away. We have to cover our nose and continue to clean. And eventually the room get clean. And this room is our heart where Krishna fix up. Yeah. So this is the message we need to take. Now,
Prabhuji, the previous slide for the Prashchita falls, we have gone through thief, elephant, and HK chanter. I did not understand this. Yeah, here only.
yeah, HK chanters.
Yes.
So you want me to elaborate on that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. See,
How it is.
basically, this is, we are all chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The seventh offense which I said, okay, that is performing
To
sinful
commit
activities on the strength of the holy names. We think that we will do this, chanting of holy name will take care, I will purify. Yes, chanting of holy name will purify, but do not repeat those sinful activities on the strength of the holy names. Right, Mataji? Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I did cover, but not exactly this particular thing, so I just skipped that. Okay, so that is the point which is coming there. So good, you are attentively looking into the slides. Okay, so there are 6 things by controlling the urges we can rise in our bhakti and become, one day we can also become spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada has said that all his disciples should become spiritual masters. All his disciples should preach Krishna consciousness to as many conditioned souls as possible. So how can we rise to that stage? Here is the directions. So I need few volunteers, keep the hands raised. So if you can read what is there in the slide very nicely, smoothly, so that others also understand, I can elaborate on that. So good to see many hands here. So let us start with Chanda Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
The first thing is that speech, vacho, degrading. Talk about useless things. Books, newspaper, TV, and radio talk. Talk shows, internet. Then example, frog, Mayavadis. Elevating, Krishna Katha. So the conclusion is that only we talk about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can we refrain from useless, nonsensical talk. Speak less, but speak sense. Silence alone, as practiced by some yogis, is not true control. The positive engagement of the tongue is glorifying God. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So this sloka is a reflection. This sloka is a reflection for all of us. If we feel we are not able to progress in bhakti, we can just reflect. Are we doing any 6 of this? So 6 things which we need to tolerate. A person who can tolerate the urges to speak, tolerate the demands of mind, one who can tolerate anger, tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So 6 things is given here. So you can reflect. How many times you call up your friends and speak hours together on mundane things? How many times you talk about the issues you are facing in your life? You know that certain situation is beyond our control. We have to surrender to the will of the Lord. But how many times, how many hours you spend? That is prajalpa. And Srila Prabhupada compares to such talks to croaking of toads. What does toads does? It makes so much noise that it is giving the signals to the snakes to come and eat. That is exactly when we are speaking, when we are utilizing this time, that walk, vacho vega, when we are uncontrollably, we are speaking on all mundane things, then we are exactly like the toad giving signals to the snake, we are giving signals to the Maya, the material things we are spending. So, what is the way out for this? Your speech should be about glorifying the Lord. Yes, there are situations where you have to speak out about the issues we are going through. But if you are overdoing it, then you are not doing the right things. This is a very important message for all of us. There's a beautiful shloka reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Shloka 10 and 11. Can make a note of this and read through it in detail. The shloka is, it says, Nayad vachas chitrapadam hareryasho jagat pavitram praganita karhi chet tadvayasam tirtam ushanti manasa nayatraham nirmantyu shikshayaha. So it says, those words which do not describe, do not glorify the Lord, the great sages consider such words as the words of crows in the pilgrimage, and which do not derive any pleasure out of it. Yeah. At the same time, there is another shloka which says, Tadvag Visarga Janata Gaviplavo Yasmin Pratishloka Abhaddavati api Namanyanantasya Yasho Ankita Niyat Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadava. So this shloka talks about, on the other hand, that literature which is full of glorification of the Lord, the transcendental glories of Nama Rupa Guna Leela, even though if it is imperfectly composed, so such songs are appreciated, accepted by the purified mind who are thoroughly honest. So these two sloka, what the key takeaway is, any talk which is not glorifying the Lord, not about Krishna consciousness, is of waste of time. So avoid such talks. So whenever your friends, relatives call up, if it is not about Krishna consciousness, try to limit as much as possible. Don't go on and on and on. So neither waste your time nor waste other person's time. This is the key message for the day.
Prabhuji, I want to say something here.
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, as you know that I was traveling to Bihar due to my father and mother health. I was there and I was serving them, cooking and all those things I was doing. But the thing which we are discussing now, I can relate to it because I was at home and my chacha and all relatives were there. They used to come. But I felt something like that, what I'm listening, because they talk here and there, and sometimes I feel very disrespect towards them, standing in between and going away, because the talk I did not like. I don't know how to convey this to you, but I felt very deeply where uh, they were talking, means just normal talk, which my heart is not accepting. In this time, why they are talking so? Why they are not discussing about Krishna and this Kartik mantra and those all those things? So, Prabhuji, is that my from my behalf I'm doing disrespect towards them, or like that? I felt every day, not once or twice, but every day I felt the same. And sometimes I said to mama, my mom also, ki, "Ma, ye kya hai?" at this age and in the इतना अच्छा पवित्र ये चल रहा है, instead of chanting and just talking about Krishna, why we are engaging our things into other thing discussion कि family में क्या हो रहा है, वो कौन कर रहा है, ये क्या कर रहा है, like that.
So
So when
this
you are
situation,
elaborating on this, I was totally the scene was going there.
yeah, so this situation we need to clearly understand. We cannot avoid such engagements. Okay, whenever we are with relatives, friends, okay, when somebody is at home, we have to engage with them on material platform as well. Parallelly, intelligently, how you can bring those conversation and connect with Krishna is our intelligence. Okay. The key point what I am trying to say is, if somebody is overdoing this, then it is an impediment for progress in bhakti. Okay, there are friends who calls me up, they call up once in a while, it is fine. But somebody is repeatedly calling and speaking the same mundane things, it is neither helping him nor helping us. So those things, those talks, better to avoid. Right, Mataji? Okay.
Thank you,
It is
Prabhu.
important when we are engaging with these people, that is an opportunity for us to bring them closer to Krishna by bringing in some of our learnings. Directly, when we talk about Krishna consciousness, nobody will accept. We have to spend time of their interest and try to instill little by little Krishna consciousness as well. So that is how we need to intelligently deal with such situation. Okay. Thank you very much. And then next is about mind. Sudarshana Rao Prabhuji, can you please read this for me?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanyavad. Mind, Manas. Mind is the king. Pure mind, pure senses. Degrading. Artificial attempts to control, negation. Elevating, thinking of the Lord. Two agitations of the mind by BS-Apr. 1. Aviroda vritti, uncontrolled attachment, desires. Second, Viroda yukta krodha, anger arising from frustration, trying to artificial. It will fill the mind with thoughts, forms, qualities, and service. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So in this, what we need to understand is mind can be our best friend. At the same time, mind can be our worst enemy. Okay. It depends how we control this mind. Okay. And then we also understand that an artificial attempt to control the mind is extremely difficult. What we can do is fixing up the mind in the lotus feet of the Lord by chanting the holy name. So that is the key thing. In fact, the mind's nature is flickering. In Bhagavadgita, we have learned Shloka 6.34, Arjuna is saying, Chanchala hi mana Krishna. So such a great warrior, such a great devotee, he is also struggling with the mind. And what does mind does? It continues to create endless desires within us for the sense enjoying propensities, imagination of past memories of sense enjoyment. It always put us in fear and attachment. These are all some of the qualities of mind. So to overcome this, what we can do is fixing up the mind at the lotus feet of the Lord. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22.31 sloka, it says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar. Krishna is like a sun and Maya is darkness. Yaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Ka Adhikar. Wherever there is Krishna, there is no adhikar of Maya. But problem with us is instead of holding on to Krishna, we are always holding on to Maya. Maya is not catching us. We are catching Maya. That is the fact of our life. More we dwell in material activities, material situations, more we go deep into that. And here there are two important things it has been told. Two agitation of mind given by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Avirodha Priti and Virodha Yukta Krodha. When we have uncontrolled attachments and desires, that will lead us to, when we are not able to accomplish that, that lead to anger. Lust, greed and anger is the sure shot way for hell, is what we understood. Right? And this we have seen more within our own family members. When we are outside, with outside people, we control our anger. But at home, we are not able to control the anger. I had asked this question to Namanista Prabhu once, that I lose my temper on my family members. How do I overcome? So Namanista Prabhu gave me a very nice thing, that the controlling propensity what we have, the attachments what we have, that our family member has to do this, that controlling propensity is creating all these disturbances. Let us move next to the Krodha. Jyoti Gupta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother.
Anger or krodha arises when a man's lust is unfulfilled. Bhagavadgita 2.62. Anger is equal to holding a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone. Solution: use it in Krishna's service. Jagai and Madhai example. Hanuman and Arjuna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. So anybody remember Sloka 2.62? Very important Sloka.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
We have two shloka on this.
Yeah.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः क्रामः क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिभ्रमः स्मृतिपश्चात् बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for remembering that, Mataji. So, what it says, while contemplating the sense objects, a person develops attachment to it. And from those attachment, lust come. When that lust is not fulfilled, the anger. And anger, as we discussed, it will lead to the hell. And some of the examples given here, how do we deal with this anger? Yeah, solution is use this anger in service of the Lord. So this particular topic, when we are discussing about anger, we have discussed this. What is the lesson from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to Tinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna, right? But here in this image, we are seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu losing his control, and he is taken the Sudarshana Chakra to kill Jagai Madai. So what is the lesson Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving here is Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnana is any insult to us, we should be in a mood of tolerant, thinking that I deserve worse than this. Somehow Krishna's mercy, I am going through, it is my purification. We have discussed this at length. But if somebody is insulting devotees or blaspheming the Lord, then you can utilize that anger, direct that anger within you towards that. So that is exactly what Hanuman and Arjuna did. So these are the examples of diverting the anger. Next, let us look at Jiva. This is very, very important. The biggest culprit of all of us. Who is to read this? Madhura Manashi Ganga Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Number 4 is tongue, jiva. The tongue desires to taste foodstuffs. It is the root of many other urges, since Taste fuels greed and desire. Solution: prasada, but with restriction. Simple sattvic food at the scheduled time, not in the restaurants. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So the root of many urges, if you are not able to control the tongue, that leads to uncontrolled sense enjoyment of tongue, leads to fuels greed and desires, more desires of sense enjoyment. So what it is said is, we should not allow the tongue to eat whatever it is of its choice. Rather, we need to offer the prasada. That is the importance of prasada. The body, the demands of body, it is said that the tongue, belly and genitals. If you are able to control tongue, the urges of belly and genitals will automatically be controlled, is what it is said. So what we eat is what we are. So as said, we need to restrain. As much as possible, we need to eat prasadam. Restrain from eating from restaurants. So is it practical? For example, I travel 15 days a week, 15 days a month, sorry. So at least go for a vegetarian restaurant, have sattvic food. As much as possible, what I try to do is, whenever I am traveling, I try to be closer to the temple and at least have prasadam as much as possible. But whenever it is not possible, at least have sattvic food and chant more. So that way your consciousness is always protected. And Mahaprasade Govinde, we say, many times what we do is, we do all these mantras, but we don't know the meaning of it. Somewhere I read, if we recite mantras by knowing the meaning of it, we have 100 times more potency coming out of that. So he says, Sharira Vidya Jal Jodendriya Taye Kal Jivve Pehle Vishya Sagare Tare Madhya Jivvati Lobo Mae Sudurmati Take Jita Katina Samsare Krishna Bado Daya Mae Kari Bare Jivva Jai. So Prasad Anna Dilo Bhai, say Annamrita Kao Radha Krishna Gun Gao. Preme Dako Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nitai Jai Nimai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. With this prayer, what are we saying? Oh Lord, this tongue is so voracious, uncontrollable. I am so grateful that you have given me prasadam. Because of this, I am able to control this tongue, which is uncontrollable. Let me glorify you, O Radha Krishna, and be grateful to Chaitanya Nitai. And one more shloka in this from, I'm not sure whether it was for memorization in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu NOD. It talks about honoring prasad and chanting the holy name. Which was that shloka?
सेवन्मुखे हि जिह्वादो स्वयमेव स्फुरति यदा.
Yeah. So Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bravet Krayam Indriya Sevan Mukena Jivvado Swayam Eva Spurati Yada. So this tongue to be utilized for chanting the holy name, glorifying the Lord and eating prasadam. So by doing that, your other urges like belly and genitals will also be controlled, and you can stay humble and in the shelter of Guru and Gauranga and continue in your Krishna consciousness. Next is belly. So we talk about prasadam, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says overeating of prasadam is also dangerous. Okay, you prepare very delicious dishes and you say that I'm offering to Krishna and I'm going to eat the delicious dishes. That is also not right. You need to prepare very delicious dishes for the pleasure of the Lord and you honor as a prasadam, and it should be limited. Everything limited is very important. Otherwise, the overeating of anything will lead to diseases. Yeah, and lead to laziness and dullness if you are not eating the sattvic food. And as said, eat to live, not live to eat. And there is a very nice saying which says, eat food like a medicine. If not, you will eat, if not, you will eat medicine like a food.
It is in Ayurveda.
Yeah. So eat food like a medicine. If not, you will eat medicines like a food. So this is the importance. Chaitanya Charitamritam, Antyalila 6.227, there's a nice loka. Jivvara lalase yehi iti uti dhaya, Shishnodhara parayana Krishna nahi paya. So somebody who is too attached for his sense enjoying thing, he's running around seeking to satisfy his palates, is always attached to the desire of his stomach and genitals, is unable to achieve Krishna in his life. So what we eat is also important. And then genitals. Aryan Prabhu, have you read already?
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu.
May I?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. 6 genitals, upastha, the strongest material impulse binding one to repeated birth and death. When uncontrolled, it leads to lust, exploitation, emotional misery, and moral fall. Control, engage sexuality only in dharmic marriage and only for producing Krishna conscious children. Uncontrolled sex life is the gateway to illusion, Maya. For renunciants, total abstinence is required, even avoiding suggestive speech or thought. Sri Jagannatha Pandit warns Sri Jagadananda Pandit warns, do not even dream of associating with women if you desire the mercy of Lord Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So this again is very, very important. We are all struggling. We are all struggling with these thoughts. So where is the root cause? Is what we eat. If we are eating prasadam, these thoughts will also we can control. It is said as strongest material impulse, Maithuna Agra, the last way the Maya can entangle us is through these kind of thoughts, uncontrolled. And what it is said, engaging in sexuality, it is in a only dharmic way, in proper marriage, and then we need to engage. And one of the important thing, as we said, eating too much prasadam is also dangerous. So even in a dharmic marriage, uncontrolled sex life is also lead to lot of such fall down. So it is always to be regulated. And our Guru Acharya says that for the purpose of Krishna, begetting Krishna consciousness children, we need to have such intercourse. And then it is also said for the renunciast, total abstinence is required. That is, do not even dream of associating with a woman. And one of the example we see from Chaitanya Leela is Chota Haridas Thakur. Though he was such a nice devotee, just by the bad thought of associating with a woman, he got rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So used to beget Krishna consciousness children. And the austerity, the control of these urges, whatever we discussed, is tapasya. And how can we control this? We can't abstain from these activities, but we can direct these activities towards Krishna consciousness activities. And the speech we discussed is to be used for chanting the holy name, glorifying the Lord, Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Mind is fixing up at lotus feet, meditating on the Nama, again Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Anger to defend the honor of devotees and Krishna. Tongue to be used for honoring the prasad and chanting the holy name. Belly is eat in moderation. Genital is serve the purpose of the dharma. When every urge is engaged in Krishna, it no longer binds but liberates. liberates from our material entanglements. So the conclusion of this chapter is a person one who can control these 6 urges. He can be called as Dhira, a wise man, steady and sober. And he can be called as Goswami, master of senses, Shishyat. So he can make disciples all over the world. The essence in single line: he who conquers his speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly and genitals conquer the world, for he has conquered himself. So what is important is conquering himself. The anarthas within us is lot more bigger than the external forces. Yeah, so this is the instruction from the first shloka. Now let us quickly take shloka 2, nectar of instruction. So here,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a
Hare
doubt,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. In speech, in that slide, it was written frog and then Mayavadis. Can you please elaborate on that, Prabhu?
Yeah. Where Mataji?
In the
This
speech
one, huh?
slide, here it is written, no, frog is equal to Mayavadis.
Frog. Yeah. See, basically what does frog does? Frog is making unnecessary noise and ending up in danger. So we need to avoid such speech. And here the reference is given is Mayavadis is we have to avoid the association of Mayavadis. So Mayavadis, what are they trying to do? They are false interpreting the scriptures and trying to merge with the Lord. So we need to avoid such unnecessary talk and association of Mayavadis.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry for interruption.
Yeah, no problem, Mataji. Thank you. So the Sloka 2 talks about what are the obstacles to progress in devotional service. What are the don'ts? Yeah. This Sloka 2 describes the consequence of not controlling the mind and senses. Previously, we discussed the importance of controlling the mind and senses. If we do not put our endeavors in controlling this, what is the consequence? Okay, we need to understand by our own choice. We wanted to be the enjoyer, and we are here under the jurisdiction of material energy. Under its influence, we have to engage our body, right? But what we are trying to do, we can utilize all our senses in service of the Lord. Presently, we are serving the Maya. So that clarity we get through this shloka. By meeting the basic demands of the body in a way, how we can foster it for the spiritual progress than material entanglement is the essence we get from this shloka. It's a very beautiful shloka. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraho jana sangascha laulyam cha shadbir bhaktir vinashati. Vinashati is a very strong word. It will destroy our progress in devotional service. So what does it says? So the verse 1 described how to control the sense and mind. Yeah. In the verse 2, I said these 6 anarthas are quietly destroying our progress. Yeah. So let us see what are those anarthas.
Prabhuji, the same shloka is taken from here in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. The same is written for yoga practices. What are the hurdles, obstacle?
Yeah. Good, Mataji. So all these things are coming from our scriptures. So Praveen MS Prabhuji, you want to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Translation: One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. 5. Associating with worldly minded persons. Sorry. Associating with associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And last, being greedy for mundane achievements. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Has the attendance link have been shared in the group? I think Kalpana Mataji is busy today. If not, somebody can take a screenshot and share it with me, or share it with Kalpana Mataji to capture the attendance for the day. So
Hare
this
Krishna
again,
Prabhuji, sharing the attendance sheet, Prabhuji. Form,
yes,
I'll
yes.
share the form.
Okay, Mataji. So this again is, Srila Prabhupada says, it is like a diagnostic tool. Previously also I told. So if the bhakti weakens, so one of the things we need to reflect is, are we engaging in any of these 6? Yeah, these 6 things is going to destroy our progress in bhakti. So atyara literally means taking more than necessary. Yeah, it can be eating more than necessary. We already discussed, even prasadam, eating more than necessary is an impediment. At the same time, collecting more, the over endeavoring to collect more funds or material opulences, all those things are a impediments. And who are atyaris? If somebody has read through this purport's translation, you will know who are generally known as atyaris as per the scriptures. There are 3 atyaris been mentioned. Anybody who read? So there are 3 atyaharis: bhukti kamis, mukti kamis, and siddhi kamis. Okay. So bhukti are the one who are grossly engrossed in material happiness, amazing lot of collecting more money than what is needed. And mukti kamis are those mayavadis or somebody like who is desiring liberation by merging into the existence of the Lord. And siddhi kamis are those yogis who are doing all this mystic yoga for getting some mystic powers. So these are all atyaris. So here, further in the purport, there is Prabhupada discuss about the 3 primary energies. So this we have discussed in our Bhagavad Gita classes. What are the 3 energies of the Lord? And where are we? Who are we?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it is external energy, internal energy, and marginal energy.
Yes, Mataji.
All the Panchabhutas, they are from external energy of Lord, and the soul is from, we are from marginal energy of Lord.
Yes.
And Paramatma, the Garbhadaksai Vishnu is in our heart.
Yeah, so to keep it simple, as you rightly said, internal energy, marginal and external. Internal is Daivi Prakriti Ashritam. There is a beautiful shloka from Bhagavad Gita 9.13 which says, Mahatmanastu Mampartha Daivim Prakriti Ashritam. So this again I was hearing to one of the very senior devotee. Somebody says that there is no mention of Radharani in Bhagavad Gita. So here there is a mention. Those are Mahatmas who are under the shelter of internal potency, pleasure potency of the Lord. And the pleasure potency of the Lord is Radharani. So one who are under the shelter of Radharani and engaging in devotional service. So those are known as Mahatmas, and we are marginal energies. We can fall down or we can rise by choosing to serve the Lord. And the external energy, that is forces of Maya. One who are grossly engrossed in serving Maya are known as narrow-minded, trying to enjoy separately extended duplicious things. So such person is known as Duratmas. And what is happening with this? The material energy, there is a beautiful sloka 7.14. Devi Isha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite Imam Tarantite. So this material energy, Krishna says, is extremely difficult to overcome. But one who has taken shelter of Devim Prakriti, one who has taken shelter of Guru and Gauranga, he can overcome the forces of Maya. So what does Maya does? It always triguna kleshas, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, and Adhyatmika kleshas. So can anybody elaborate what are these three kleshas that all of us in this material world are going through?
Troubles from the mind, troubles from outside,
Yes.
and troubles from elements of nature, Prabhu.
Yeah. So elements of nature. So one of the key thing we need to understand here, these three kleshas are common for all of us. When there is a drought, earthquake, storm, whatever is happening, irrespective of whether you are a beggar or a richest person, you have to go through all these kleshas, right? And then there is Adi Bhautika kleshas. So a lot of people put us in trouble, or a lot of living entity, even a mosquito biting. Yeah, this is common for all of us. One of the very dangerous thing is what we do for ourselves. Adhyatmika kleshas. Some difficult situation when we are not able to stay grounded in that situation and bogged down by the forces, then we are making more harm to ourselves. Somebody has put you in some difficult situation. It could be your relatives, friends, family, your colleagues, and you are always thinking about those things and trying to retaliate. So you are doing more harm to yourself. So these are all kleshas we are putting, which is taking us away. So material energy know how to take you away from Krishna. So shloka from, there is a beautiful reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Shloka 2, chapter 2, Shloka 9. It talks about the dharma. All occupational engagement dharma are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. So all our activity is not for material gain, but to attain ultimate liberation from this material entanglement. So how we can engage in our prescribed duty? Every day we are all doing our work. How can we engage which will not entangle, rather liberate? How can we do this? Have you got my
By
question?
doing everything for Krishna's pleasure.
Yes.
Samsiddhir Haritoshanam.
Yes. So keeping Krishna in center and doing everything for the pleasure of the Lord, those are the engagements which will help us to liberate, not entangle. And Vinashyati, 6 impediments. It will annihilate our progress in bhakti, vanquished, destroyed, spoiled, lost. Yeah, so let us look into those 6 impediments. The first impediment is overeating or collecting. Atyara. Jyoti Mataji, you want to read this? So all those devotees who have not read, please keep the hands raised so I can give chance to you all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Number 1, overeating, collecting, atyahara.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Meaning ati. Ati is equal to means too much. Ahar is equal to grabbing, eating, collecting. Our needs are different. The spirit of enjoyment versus Lord's mercy. Ishavasya principle and satisfaction shows our lack of faith in Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So atyahara, overeating or over collecting. Why does this destroy our bhakti? By overeating, what happens?
Our focus will be on satisfying our senses.
Yeah.
And also leads to letharginess.
Sorry, Mataji?
Lethargy. It leads to
Lethargy.
letharginess.
Yes, lethargy. Yes. So when we are lethargic, how can we serve? Right? And more collecting, more you collect, then your thought process is always to protect that. Right? So it increases the bodily consciousness, laziness, it more collecting, it increases the pride.
And also fearlessness, Prabhuji. Fearless.
We become more fearful.
Fearful, yes.
By collecting more, we are becoming more fearful to protect that. Right? And then what is the remedies for this? Is Prabhupada says simple living, high thinking. Accept what is needed in service of the Lord. And whatever it is coming on its own, don't over endeavor. Whatever you are supposed to get, Krishna is already decided what you are going to get. Don't over endeavor in material, mundane activities. By remembering Ishavasya principle. So we are going to discuss in detail about this sloka. Ishavasamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatan jagat tena taktvena bunjita magrida kashyasvidhanam. So this sloka talks is the ultimate owner. Everything is belong to Krishna. I am just a caretaker. And I take what is allotted as per my quota. Rest everything I am engaging in service of the Lord. This should be the mood. Yeah. So next is over endeavoring. I need to see more hands. The hands are raised before I call out. There are good amount of devotees silently listening, not participating. At least you can raise the hand and read the slides. Is to see more new hands. Yeah, I'll give chance to Shivakumar Prabhu, but I want to see other devotees, please. The ones who have already participated.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
I want new devotees to participate, please. Yes, Prabhu, please.
To over in your prayers.
Over endeavors, yeah.
Over in your prayers.
Yeah.
Making excessive material effort, making excessive material effort for hard to get goals, money, fame, luxury, position. When the mind is always striving, the heart cannot rest in remembrance of Krishna. Mentality, work as a slave. Analogy. If one has a small field and cow and can live peacefully, but when man lives nature's balance for artificial industry and competition, he loses inner peace.
Inner peace. So over endeavoring. We are all working professionals, businessmen. Yeah. How do we look at this over endeavor? We see there are people who are working 14, 15 hours. But what is the purpose of them is more luxurious life, name, fame, sense enjoyment. That is the over endeavor what we are seeing here. At the same time, when you utilize your work, your professional duties as a karma yoga, keeping Krishna in center, and without wasting time, when you are focused in your work, the whatever you want to accomplish, you can easily accomplish within the 8 hours what you are spending. During office hours, you call up your friend and speak 1 hour. That is prajalpa. During the office hour, if you are focused, knowing that this responsibility is Krishna's blessings and I need to do to my best of my ability, definitely you will do a lot better than somebody who is spending 12, 13 hours in a day. Right? And why does this over endeavor destroy? This drains the time, drains the spiritual energy, and we need to understand all that material opulences what we are getting is temporary, but we are spending our lifetime towards it. So our purpose is tattva jignasa, atato tattva jignasa, right? So we need to inquire the purpose of our life and put our endeavors there than doing over endeavoring material mundane things for our sense enjoyments. So spiritual remedy, what is the remedy for this? As said, work honestly, but with moderation. Whatever time, be focused and put your honest endeavors. Perform your duty. When you start your day, thank Krishna for this opportunity. Understand this is your karma yoga. Keep Krishna in center and do your work in such a way that which pleases Krishna and offer all the results, success or failure, as a result at the lotus feet of the Lord. I start my day in my office praying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah. Beginning of the day and end of the day, when we start these prayers, it will really help. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Klesha Nashaya. So this sloka also, this sloka also help us to overcome the anxiety of the work. There are a lot of challenges we face, right? So this already I've discussed in my past classes. Next is Prajalpa. We can reflect so much of Prajalpa we do on mundane issues, mundane topics. Achieved the chief. Prabhupada says, we are achieving the same thing which is already achieved 100 times. We are talking on the same mundane topics again and again and again and again, neither helping both parties. So better to avoid such calls, even if the other person is feeling bad. It is neither helping you nor other. As long as the other person understands this, it is good for the relationship. So who is going to read this? Akshita Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prajalpa, idle talk. Godless Prajalpa. Useless talk. Arguments, gossip, debates, fault finding in others, speaking falsehoods, worldly talk, blaspheming devotees. Unnecessary conversation about politics, gossips, television, sports, or social drama. Words not connected to Krishna are compared to thought croaking, meaningless noise that invites danger, death.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So here, all these things we can just reflect. What are we doing? Yeah. Words not connected to Krishna are compared to toad croaking. We discussed this. Meaningless noise that invite danger. Danger for us is more we engage in such topics, more we are falling into the forces of Maya. Yeah. So we have to rise that if those topics is not helping us to progress in Krishna consciousness, we have to move on. And how do we speak? Speak truth, which is beneficial, which is pleasing to Krishna. And those things are all Krishna Katha, discussing the Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord. And practice Mauna. When you are avoiding some unwanted calls, it is practicing Mauna, spiritual silence. Such speech which is not helping you to progress in bhakti, avoid such calls. So these are the instructions coming from our scriptures. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, don't waste a single moment in idle talk. Every word should help you progress in spiritual progress. Next is following the rules and regulations for the sake of following it. Niyamagraha. So Praveen K. Prabhuji, you've been very silent from the beginning. Okay, I saw. Nice to see your hands raised.
Sorry for interrupting, Prabhu.
Praveen K. Prabhu. Praveen K. Prabhu.
Prabhu, in the previous slide, there is a BVT. What is that, Prabhu? BVT.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur. From his instruction, these are the things which has been taken, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. All these godless prajalpa, useless talks, arguments, gossips, debates, fault finding in others. We forget what we have done to others. We give more importance to what others have done to me. And we talk hours and hours and hours on this. Please reflect. If you are doing that, please stop. You are not helping yourself. You are not helping the other person who is listening to you. Yes, Praveen K. Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Accept neglect rules. Niyamagraha. Two meanings. Agra equal to eagerness to accept. Accepting some of the R&R. And Agra equal to failure to accept, neglecting the R&R. Main niyama equal to remembering Krishna. Danger, following with no proper understanding. Accepted.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So here, niyamagraha, agraha or agraha, both look same just by and stretching this agraha. The meaning is eagerness to accept some of the rules and regulations. Agraha is failure to accept. So here what we need to understand is following these rules and regulations. Both are difficult. Both has its impediments. How? When we are following certain rules and regulation, just for the sake of following rules and regulation, it is not going to help us. This rules and regulation is just in the beginning to elevate yourself, and eventually you should start from, as we discussed, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is following the rules and regulation. It should become spontaneous. Prabhupada says following the rules and regulation is not the goal. The love of Krishna is the goal. These rules and regulation is helping you to rise. So you have to rise. That endeavor is to rise. So the main niyama is to remember Krishna. Yeah. Otherwise, it is of no use. So we'll take 5-10 minutes extra. Let us quickly complete. Next, Shanti Sudesh Mataji, you can read this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Fifth, Jana Sangha, materialistic association. Social beings, similarly minded people. Association, cause of both material bondage or liberation. Problems of Jana Sangha, doubts, offenses, to act contrary to our values, greed for mukti and siddhi. ISKCON, to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. So basically, Jana Sangha, materialistic association of materialistic people. We need to be very cautious here. In our social circle, we can't completely avoid this, but judiciously spend the time. How it will affect our progress? Our consciousness mirrors the kind of person we spend time with. Just like a smoke blackens a white cloth, when the white cloth is in association of a black smoke, the white cloth will be blackened, right? Similarly, our mind will also get corrupted. the spiritual remedy for this, as Prabhupada says, to give the opportunity for this association. ISKCON has built so many temples, bhakti vrikshas. We need to associate with devotees, engage in devotional service. Bhakta Sane Vasa, live and serve in the association of devotees. So as we progress in our life, we need to mold our life in such a way that we spend more time with the devotees, we stay closer to the temples. Yeah, today it may not be possible, but whenever the opportunity is there, Sunday programs. So mostly whenever I am available in Bangalore, I visit our temple in the evening. There is nice Sunday feast programs are happening. We engage, we associate with devotees, listen to Krishna Katha, engage some services, honor prasadam. So these are all the things which will give us that energy for the entire week to face this materialistic world. So it is very important to be in association of devotees. The last is Laulyam.
Hare
Sahili
Krishna
Bose
Prabhuji, can
Mataji.
I read it? Can I read Prabhuji? I have not read it, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
go ahead,
Krishna.
Mataji. Who is that?
Aruna Prabhuji. My
Yes,
pranam
Mataji,
to
please.
Prabhuji.
Go ahead,
My
Mataji.
pranam to all the devotees. Greed, Laulyam. Greed for Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi. Real one, greed for Krishna Bhakti, no material desires, peaceful. Jnana Sangha, Jana Sangha. Talk, greed, over endeavor, rules, and with over collecting. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So greed, Laulyam. Yeah, we already discussed about Bhukti, Mukti, and Siddhi. How does this destroy? This basically divides the heart between the material world, the worldly opulence, as well as the Lord. We discussed in our past session, very important framework I gave, MSC. Do anybody remember what is MSC framework for a happy life?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mercy, satisfaction, and another.
Conscience.
Control.
Yes, Prabhuji. Control,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
So mercy is have mercy on all the living being. Satisfaction, be happy, satisfied with what you have. So this satisfaction is only when you are contempt and you have patience and contempt in what you have, then you are overcoming the greed. Greed can be purified. How the greed can be purified? All this greed to do something, you can put it in the service of the Lord. When I ask somebody to read, you have to jump and take the slokas, jump to the opportunities. So these are all we can utilize. Lobapi sadhu sange. Be greedy for hearing about and serving the devotees and the Lord. That is where we have to engage.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, MSC for happy life, mercy,
MSC. Who is that?
satisfaction, and E Prabhu.
C for control, Prabhuji. Control of your senses,
Okay.
your anger, your senses, your mind. M for mercy. Have mercy on everybody, including your enemies. They have only put you in that difficult situation where now you are holding on to the Lord's lotus feet very tightly. Kunti's prayers. Kunti is saying that Krishna was always with us when we were in difficult situation. When the war is over, when we got back our kingdom, now you are leaving us. So difficult, for us, difficulty is more we need more difficulties so that you are always with us. So that is mercy. S for satisfaction. Be satisfied in whatever you have in life. When we have more expectation, that is we are over endeavoring. When you are satisfied in the service of the Lord, then you are blissful. And then control. Very reason I requested all the devotees to listen to the mist class is So many such important things are being lost. I'm not enforcing anything. I don't want to do. I'm getting more than what I expected from this session. I never even dreamt of studying nectar of instruction so deeply if I would not have taken this class. So I'm so grateful to all the devotees here as well as the opportunity given by my Siksha Guru Namanista Prabhu. I am getting more than what I expected, but I want you all also to make the most of what the time you have spent. I'm so grateful to you all that you have come this long in this journey. Most of them would have, I've seen most of them, half of them will run away. But I am so fortunate. This core group of devotees is holding on to this association so tightly. I'm so grateful. So the
Because
point
of
I want to
you,
make is,
Prabhuji.
please
Hare Krishna,
listen
Prabhuji.
to all the missed classes. There are
Because
so
of you, it's your association, Prabhuji, that we all attended continuously classes, Prabhuji, because of your classes.
it is all glories to Srila
Yes,
Prabhupada, my
Prabhuji.
Siksha Guru. I'm just reading Srila Prabhupada books, and whatever I listen from my Siksha Gurus, I'm just presenting it in the simplest way which I can understand. Maybe that is what is being connected. I don't use very tough philosophy. I try to give examples where I try to understand. If I think I am the most dumb person in the group, so if I can understand this philosophy, definitely all my students are a lot more intelligent, a lot more sincere and committed. They will also. So I try to keep it simple. So the message again I want to say is, request you to listen to the missed class and confirm. Yeah, this is one thing. So many important philosophy aspects of our progress in bhakti is missed in those classes. Okay, don't take lightly. And as I see most of the participation devotees are here, I just take 2 minutes to again reiterate that this module 5 is just couple of months and then we will go for certification. So kindly get in touch with Kalpana Mataji, Kirti Mataji to understand what are your backlogs, where you are missing out, and try to cover up those backlogs and maintain this attendance very judiciously, because this has very less sessions. I said nectar of instruction will have only 4 sessions. If you miss one, then 25% of your attendance is gone. If you miss 2 sessions, 50% is gone. And then you have to wait for the next batch when they are going to start nectar of instruction. Now they have just started nectar of devotion. They may take 6 months. Then if you have to cover up your attendance, you have to wait for 6 months. By that time, you would have lost this journey. The devotees who have completed Bhakti Shastri are eligible to join Bhakti Vaibhava, where you are going to discuss Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It's such a beautiful journey. Okay, so please take seriously this couple of months what you have to cover up your backlogs, and then module 5, attend all the sessions, and as soon as the exams are announced, the sloka recitation, we are giving sufficient time. At least 2-3 weeks prior advance notice we are giving for you to prepare. So without any delays, if you can complete, you all will be certified for life as Bhakti Shastris. This is very, very prestigious certificate we all get. We don't understand the importance. We seriously don't understand the importance. At least I did not understand the importance of Bhakti Shastri when I did. It is very easily given by Namanista Prabhu. There are temples charging 10,000 rupees, and with so many rules and regulations, you have to follow that. When you do with all those things, you will value. When you get it very easily, we do not value. I did discuss about initiation, importance of initiation. If you want to go back to Krishna in this lifetime, you have to take initiation. I don't want to mince my words. This is what our Guru Acharyas have told. And for you to get initiation, one of the mandatory thing you have to do is complete Bhakti Shastri. So please take this very seriously. Okay, you have come this far. Do not miss out for some. When you, time is same for all of us. What you prioritize is what is important for you. It is like filling. There is a very beautiful example of filling the bottle. Sorry, I'm extending, but it is important. I thought it is end of the session. You are all there here. So I thought, let me complete this. If the glass is filled with water, can you add up gravels, sand and mud, all those things? How can you do this? By putting the gravels first, sand, and then add the water. So what is important for you in your life, you will put first. So give importance to this Bhakti Shastri so you can complete and progress. Once it is done, it is done. All that material things, what you have to leave behind. All this education, knowledge, what we have, nobody can take away from us, right? Even the material education. Now, most of my engineering principles I don't apply, but I am a BE mechanical engineering graduate. Yeah, my CV always says that I'm a BE mechanical engineering graduate. Similarly, this Bhakti Shastri, whatever backlogs, whatever issues you have, please keep aside for a couple of months, complete your backlogs and move further. Please reach out proactively to Kirti Mataji and Kalpana Mataji. Finally, to conclude this chapter, as said, this is a self-assessment mirror. If you feel that your bhakti is weakening, these are the 6 things you have to see, whether I am over collecting, over working on the mundane matters, wasting time on my speech. Am I taken the sadhana very lightly? Am I putting my endeavors to progress in my taste for Harinam? Am I putting my endeavors in progressing in my sadhana, or it is become mechanical now? Am I wrongly associating with worldly people, or am I becoming too restless or greedy? So this is your mirror. And the essence of this mantra is simplicity simplicity preserves bhakti, greedy gossip, pride destroys it. So with this, I will come to end of today's session. Thank you very much for patiently listening. I am also doing this for the first time. Nectar of instruction. I heard the way, at least you are all so attentively listening, participating. I was not so good student when I was doing Nectar of instruction. But thank you very much. Hope it helped you, and listening to this, trying to implementing these lessons in our life. Prachar, practice and prachar. When we are preaching this, we also fix up. So with this, I will end my session. Any key things? Already we have overshoot by 15 minutes. Any key things, any good things you want to share, or any quick questions we can take, and we will end our session today. Again, I don't see many coming prepared for the class. I don't see many have read through this and coming. Little without your little endeavors, it becomes like watching movie. You will connect when you come prepared, and with that connection you can practice much better.